And we're joined by Aviv Bertele, the owner of the UAB Hebrew School in town. This is an ULPAN for our viewers here, a Hebrew language class. Aviv, good to have you with us. I've heard a lot of good things about you from some close colleagues of mine around here, obviously you know. First, tell us about your professional life in Tel Aviv, the ULPAN program. You know, what makes it unique?
So first of all, thank you for having me, David, and I wish everyone Chag Ahava Sameach, Happy Gay Pride. And, you know, when I started teaching 14 years ago, obviously, whoever is familiar with the Hebrew schools around Israel, I was a fish out of water. And I saw that it was a very straight environment to the point when one of the directors of the ULPAN at the university offered to set me up with her daughter. And then I realized we need a shift in the way we think about even teaching a language. So, you know, even in any language book, not only in Hebrew, in English or Spanish, there's always the example of male and female in a dialogue. Or when you have parents, you have male and female. Well, how about having two girls or two guys, or having, you know, no parent for the kids, or having one parent or two females? And that's how I started like rolling with the ideas for my own ULPAN UAB. And, you know, people say this is the only gay ULPAN. I say this is the only straight, friendly ULPAN, where we accept straight people and we let them feel comfortable, you know, here. One of the, core values for UAB is inclusivity, meaning that we accept everyone. So first of all, we decided that we don't work with the Israeli government because they discriminate non-Jews and they discriminate our non-Jewish students, and they don't offer them vouchers for the ULPAN. But also, people that come here, we even have a group of American evangelists, which they obviously, their belief doesn't go, it doesn't align with my sexual orientation, but they come here and we sit and we talk about everything. You know, there's no taboo at UAB. We talk about politics. We talk about transgenders in the army. We talk about cultures, about singers, and we listen to one another. And that's how I, envision Israel, as a place where we sit and talk and we listen to one another and we accept each other.
Look, I'm chuckling here in the studio. I mean, there's nothing simple about what you're talking about. These are complex issues, complex societal things. I mean, just the language aspect of this. And I'm going over this today. I mean, today, the accepted acronym, the LGBTQIA+, trying to keep up with this acronym. And I think much of the world, even those really sympathetic to the cause, struggle with this. Hebrew, as you mentioned, it's a gender conjugated language, unlike English, for example, which struggles as is to keep up with the evolving trends here. How do you deal with that? How do you teach that nuance?
First of all, David, let's say that enough with talking about labels. Okay. We talk about people, and that's what Israel is all about. It's about the people. So while Americans are dealing, what's my pronouns? Right. I'm not going into a Zoom meeting without a pronouns. How about talking to the person? What is he struggling about? And by the way, I heard a very interesting lecture about the fact that Hebrew, because everything is divided into male and female, actually it makes transgender kids feel really early who they are, because when you address a child that is born as male and he actually feels like a female and he understands that's not the way he wants to be called. While in English it's so general, so it takes him more time to evolve and to develop his identity. But I do want to say that because we address such complex issues, it really helps our student to connect, because many times in many ULPANim and in many language schools, they talk about what we call in Judaism parv issues, something that is so neutral and boring, like a town or the history of clocks, and enough with that. That doesn't want to help me want to learn a language. But if I talk about, I give an exercise about who I want to give the Israel Award to, and one of the, the nominees is a transgender male that serves in the army and did his transform in the army, and a few students here choose him over politicians, over singers, that connects them to what is going on here. And I do want to add something on that, if I may.
Yes.
Israel is so old-fashioned with everything that has to do with legislation, with the LGBTQ, blah, blah, blah. I know I'm allowed to say that because I'm part of it. So we're very, very old-fashioned about it. The government doesn't do anything. Everything that the advances is thanks to the Supreme Court. What do we have at the end of the day? The people. And this is what we try to do at the ULPAN, to introduce our students to the people. And this is my goal as Aviv, ever since I came out of the closet when I was 22, after serving in a combat unit. I want to show the world, who Aviv is. And part of who Aviv is being gay. And, as a teacher, as an ULPAN owner, when people from all, really all spectrums, we have here a traditional French Jew, a gay Orthodox guy who's British, we have an Israeli Arab, we have families of diplomats, and everyone sit in the same class where I teach, and we all talk to one another, and we all look in the eyes, and we don't handle pronouns and labels and name tags. Oh, this is how I want to be called. No, let's talk to each other. Let's see who this person is, what he thinks. Maybe, we'll come to an agreement about certain things. And that's really what diversity is all about. Well, a lot of tech companies here in Israel, we celebrate diversity. What do you even do for diversity? Okay, here we implement the diversity. And this is how you implement diversity. Another interesting story, I was teaching at ULPAN in one of the Israel's biggest tech companies, and I was doing my own curriculum like I do here. A legal advisor from that company approached me 8 months ago and told me that some students might feel uncomfortable if I talk about transgenders in the army. Well, honey, that's not going to happen with me, I quit that day because I did not come out of the closet, and I wasn't in the closet for 21, 22 years, that someone here in Tel Aviv, a legal advisor for one of Israel's biggest tech company, will tell me not to talk about transgender in the army.
Aviv Bertele, working with newcomers, especially shaping hearts and minds, planting the seeds for better coexistence here in the country with new immigrants. Keep up the good work. Great to have you on our program today. Enjoy the weekend. Yes. Thanks for joining us.